At this point in 2025, the Epstein list is America's One Piece. Now look, I'm not gonna act like I know everything about Jeffrey Epstein, because I really fucking don't. Because back when he was getting in trouble and shit, and when he died, I was following the R. Kelly shit, alright? But nowadays, the Epstein list appears to be the most popular thing regarding this man. Because, well yeah, if you haven't heard yet, the FBI is claiming that the list doesn't exist. Even though the last year, people were talking about like getting the list released. Like a specific lady, I don't know who her name is, but a specific lady in general was talking about getting the list released, and it never got released. And now we know why. Because the Republicans and the Democrats are blocking this list from being released. But there's one man in particular who really wants to make sure this list never gets released. And I think you know who I'm talking about. That's right, I'm talking about Donald J. Trump himself, Mr. Cheeto Man his fucking self. Now look, as a black man in America, I can't stand Trump. I really can't. Every time I hear about this guy doing something, it's always the dumbest fucking shit. Like I just saw someone today where he wants to pass a bill that makes it so college athletes can't get paid as much for NIL earnings. Like, what the fuck did the college athletes do? They're just playing ball over there and getting paid for it finally, and he wants to fuck that up? But back to the Epstein list. We know damn well Trump's on that fucking list, nigga. Like, come the fuck on, Donald. You gotta be kidding me with this shit. Like, the very fact that he's trying his hardest to act like this list doesn't exist is very telling. And you know what? Since we're on the topic of like politicians, who knows what other like big politicians right now are on that list? Because it's probably a lot of them. There's a reason the Democrats and the Republicans are making sure this list never gets released. Because if it ever sees the light of day, a lot of these politicians are probably gonna be in some deep shit. Now look, if you're new to the internet and you don't know everything about Jeffrey Epstein, me personally, I don't know either. Like, I don't know a lot. I know like the basic shit. But if you really want a full depth story on Jeffrey Epstein, there are plenty of documentary videos on YouTube you can probably look at, you know? I'd recommend some, but I don't really know. I'll probably just watch the Netflix documentary or something. So given that my level of expertise regarding this situation is 0 to none, I'm gonna let someone that knows a lot more than me speak. So, you know, please give a fair welcome to my boy Sares, and he's gonna talk about his opinions on the Epstein list and what he thinks about the whole thing. But before that, make sure to hit that like, subscribe button, and also check the link tree so you can check out my other socials. And last but not least, this is a new thing, by the way. If you want to ask me questions or if you want to give me ideas for new videos, go ahead and click on the link tree, find the Discord invite, and then click on that and join my Discord so you can send me some ideas. Other than that, let's switch over.
Hello. I'll be your guest speaker today. My name is Sares, or SARS. It changes like every time I pronounce it. And here are my thoughts on the whole Epstein situation. Alright, so I'm sure Xavier already like went through the entire situation, but I'm gonna give like a little summary just to brief what I'm about to say and give my thoughts. So here it goes. Alright, so a pretty big selling point that the Republican Party made during the election of 2024 was that they're gonna be transparent because the Democrats were the ones keeping secrets from the citizens and doing all these shady things in the background. So in order to prove that they're going to be fully transparent during Trump's presidency, they vowed to release the Epstein files and the JFK files. So then he gets elected. No Epstein files. 6 months after he gets elected, still no Epstein files. Then they started saying that there were never any Epstein files to begin with. But months before, a Republican official said she had them on her desk ready to read through right now. So what is it? Why are we backtracking? Why are we flip-flopping between it non-existent, not being important, and saying, oh yeah, we got it in the bag, we're gonna release it right now? They used to say that the Democratic Party was trying to hide the Epstein files because some of their officials were on it. But then when a Republican president gets in office, claiming that he's going to release it finally after all these years, suddenly he's saying it doesn't exist. Suddenly he's saying, oh, we have bigger fish to fry. We have bigger things to worry about. Point number two. It's very obvious. There are like a dozen photos out there that I could just find right now. That Epstein and Trump were close. They were friends. They were friendly. They were buddies. They were chums. They were pals. They had so many photos together. Just like there are a lot of photos of Trump and Diddy. Whoa, what are the chances? What a coincidence. Trump just so happens to be around celebrities who have been doing things terrible in private. Oh, but then when it comes out, he wants to declaim them, act like they were never besties, act like they were never friends. If you guys were never friends, why are you hesitating to release the files? Point number 3, there was an instance where a reporter asked Donald Trump directly about the Epstein files and whether it was going to come out or not, and he got real defensive about it. Saying, oh, you guys are still worried about the Epstein files? We got bigger things to talk about. We got bigger things to do right now. Why are you guys still talking about the Epstein files? Like, as if he wasn't the one who brought it up in the first place. As if he wasn't the one who was saying he was going to release it when he became president and then now isn't releasing it. You know, the thing is, people haven't been talking about Epstein for years. People weren't thinking about Epstein. We moved on from Epstein until you said you were gonna release the files. You brought it up. You brought it up, not us. We didn't start pushing for this until you brought it up and then backtracked on it. Not gonna lie, if you didn't say anything about the Epstein files, we wouldn't be talking about it right now. No one would care. And then you'd have a point saying, why y'all talking about the Epstein files? But then you just had to jog our memory. Then y'all just had to run your mouth and remind us. Well, thank you, because now you're in the situation. And now that you're in the deep end, you can't seem to handle it. So you want to backtrack. Point number 4, they came out with a video claiming that this is unedited raw footage of Epstein's cell the night that he supposedly died or something, showing that it wasn't a murder and he indeed did just kill himself or something like that. Because not only is this Epstein situation about the files, but it's also about the murder of Epstein. The public is saying he was murdered, but officially they ruled it as a suicide. And this raw video was supposed to prove that no one was getting in or out or something like that. And so it must have been a suicide. The thing is though, there were minutes missing from the raw footage. I wonder if it's edited. Why would there be footage missing if it wasn't edited? One thing I will say that is like a positive out of this whole situation is the way Trump and the Republicans are handling this whole Epstein situation is so shady that even Republican citizens are starting to get sketched out. Like, what is our Lord? What is our president doing? What is my lovely president doing? Why is he acting this sketchy? I don't understand it. Why is he trying to protect them? Why is he trying to protect Epstein? There's no way he's on the. I love that. I love that it's very obvious. I love that there is no like kind of oh, you guys are reaching. No, they're definitely hiding something. 5th point, Trump said the Epstein files could potentially destroy innocent people's lives. Why would you be on the list if you were innocent? You know what I mean? And if you were innocent and you were on the list, you should have explained yourself before people had to do some digging and actually read the list. You know what I mean? Like if I was a celebrity who went to Epstein's Island and didn't do anything because I'm innocent and I wouldn't do anything like that, I promise guys, I'd be coming out in advance saying, hey, I went to this island, but I was like in the outskirts, you know? I was just in a couple parties, some calm, relaxing parties, but I wasn't deep in the trenches, you know what I'm saying? I wasn't in those parties, you know, one of those parties. I wasn't underneath the curtain. I was more like outside the curtain. Maybe I was sitting next to the window, but I didn't pull the blinds. I didn't see what those people were doing to those kids. I'm just letting you guys know. So if you see me in the files, you'll know I wasn't there. I wasn't there, you know. I was just kind of, I was like at the beach. I wasn't in the deep forest. You know what I'm talking about? But if you were on the list and you didn't announce that you were there in advance before all the bad stuff came out about Epstein Island, you're guilty. You're guilty because you were trying to keep that on the down low. You're guilty. You need to go to jail now. Also, it's kind of ironic that Trump said, releasing the Epstein files is gonna put innocent people in danger, but it's actually protecting guilty people, like the pedophiles. You know, like if you release it right now, we could probably lock them up before they leave the country. Also, it gives these pedophile celebrities a chance to mess around with even more kids. I mean, that probably has already happened, unfortunately, because so much time has passed. But like, you think these celebrities are leaving this island, this island where they're free to mess around with anyone who they want to, and don't have a bloodlust? They're not coming out there with a bloodlust for children? They're like, yes, now I can go into the wild. I have a newfound appreciation. For these children. Like, they coming out scheming. You think they're gonna have their fill? They're not done. They're not done yet. And you give them more time to plan out their life in a different country. What are you doing? Lock them up now. And now the House of Republicans have unanimously voted to block the release of the Epstein files. Either Trump has paid them all off, or they have all been to Epstein's Island too! So to close this point off, Trump was definitely on the list. Republican officials, some of them at least, were definitely on the list. Trump is protecting pedophiles, probably because he is one or has friends that are pedophiles. That's basically guaranteed. Have you seen the stuff that he said about his daughter? Yo, he's definitely a pedophile. If you've seen the clips that showcase him talking about his daughter or talking to his daughter, you can tell he's definitely a pedophile. Will he ever release the files? No, I don't think he will. Maybe it'll get leaked. In fact, I think they're trying to destroy it as we speak. They're trying to destroy every piece of evidence. So when Trump eventually leaves office, the next president isn't gonna just be like, okay, since Trump wasn't gonna do it, I'm gonna do it for y'all. Congratulations! Here are the Epstein files. Nah, Trump's gonna burn it. He's gonna burn it all down. So not gonna lie, if the Epstein files don't get released soon, I don't think it's ever gonna get released because it's gonna be gone. It's gonna be gone. And then they're gonna say there was no Epstein files. No, y'all burned it. Y'all burned it. But yeah, that's my take on the situation. Back to you, Xavier.
Great guy, by the way. You should check out his channel. I'm gonna plug it in the description. But basically, there's no reason for Trump to be high in this fucking list. Cause he's already a convicted felon. And he's already been impeached more than any other president in the United States history. So what the fuck is he really trying to hide that's so fucking bad? Like, you've already done a lot of terrible shit, my nigga. So at the end of the day, are you really just hiding this list for yourself? Or are you just hiding it because you have a lot of people that have a lot of shit on you that can bring you down if you don't hide it? I honestly just think it's fucking hilarious how Trump and the FBI are gonna tell us this list doesn't exist, knowing damn well that it does. Like, how dumb do you think we are, man? We're not fucking stupid. We know the list exists, y'all just don't want to share it because a lot of people are gonna get fucked over if you do. And honestly, let them. Like, literally, they should not be in what positions they are if they did some terrible shit. And that's the problem with America specifically. The rich people pretty much control everything. And I know that some people are gonna argue they don't control everything. But no, they basically control everything, okay? Especially how people perceive them. That's why they're able to get this list from getting released, because they have power in high places. And specifically, there are people in these high places that have done terrible shit that are probably on that list. At this point, we just gotta clear out the whole, like, Republican Party. The Democratic Party too at this point. Because on some real shit, who knows who's on that list that we know of? Like, for all I know, fucking, like, anyone could be on that list, dude. And it's really just pissing me off now that this country chose to elect a convicted felon who's been impeached twice as president, knowing damn well that he's on this fucking list. Like, Kamala Harris is right fucking there. Like, oh my god, what is wrong with y'all niggas? If you voted for Trump, personally, go fuck yourself. Cause on some real shit, the next 4 years are gonna be fucking hell because of this motherfucker. And it pisses me off the most that this motherfucker's on that list and he has the power to get it blocked. Between the NIL shit that I was talking about at the beginning of the video, and between the fact that Trump is trying to dismantle the Department of Education as we speak, the fact that he has the time to act like this list doesn't fucking exist actually just makes me want to fucking punch somebody, bro. So to end my video, I just have a few things I want to get off my chest real quick. One, Epstein definitely got killed in prison. Like, I know the story is that he committed suicide, but come the fuck on, he definitely got taken out. Okay, he definitely knew a little too much for somebody's liking. Two, Trump can go fuck himself, because if he seriously wants me to sit here and act like this list doesn't exist, even though there's proof that it actually exists, he might actually just be stupid. Well, actually, no, he's already stupid, but he might just be stupider than I thought he was. And number three, the next time we have an election, please vote for the right person and don't vote for a fucking convicted felon. Other than that, guys, this has been Xavier Rants coming at you with Rants. See you next time. Adios.